Hi everyone, welcome back to Skill World. Today, in this tutorial, we are going to talk about the isEnable method in Selenium. This method helps us check whether an element on the web page is enabled or not, which is really useful when interacting with forms and buttons. Let's start. In previous tutorial, I have explained about the capturing a screenshot of the specific element and capture the screenshot of the entire web page. So let's begin. Create a new Python file. Right click on this Python project and then enter the file name demo underscore enable and then click on Python file. Now import the WebDriver and then initialize the URL. Copy this and paste here. As you can view, this is the login page. Here one is username field and then password and then third is sign in button. If I enter something text here, then this sign in button is enabled. We can validate this disable sign in button by using Selenium. We can verify whether this sign in button is enabled or not. So let's begin. Copy this URL in which we want to go and then initialize the URL here. URL is equal to this URL and then navigate to this URL by using driver.get. Enter the URL here. Next thing we need to do here, we need to locate this element which is sign in. Right click on this and then click on inspect. Here ID is available, which is login underscore button. Copy this ID and then element 1 is equal to driver dot find element by dot ID and enter value here, which is login underscore button. Now enter is enable basically used to return the Boolean value which is either true or false. Suppose this button is disabled, so in this case the value will be written false. If this button is enabled after enter the username and password, then the value will be true. Now print the value here element 1. Let's add some weight here after navigating to this URL. Time towards select 3 seconds and then locate this element by ID. After locating this element, add some weight here, time towards select 3 seconds. Now run this script and see what happened. First, navigate to this URL and then print the value which is false. As you can view, the value is false because this sign in button is disabled, and here you can view this is disabled. Now enter the username and password and then we will validate whether this sign in button is enabled or not. So for locating this username and password, here ID is available. Right click on this sign in and then scroll here. For password, ID and as well name, both are available. We can locate here by username, by name. Name value is user underscore pass and ID also available. So copy this ID. First we need to enter the username here. So username, here ID is available which is user underscore name, copy this ID, and then driver dot find element by dot ID, enter the ID value here, and we want to enter text here, so use here dot send keys and enter username, which is test. Same for password, copy this line and change the ID here. ID is available for password, which is user underscore pass. Paste ID here, and same you want to enter the password test here, and then we need to click on the submit button. In this scenario, we will validate whether this button is enabled or not after enter the username and password. Element 2 is equal to driver dot find element by dot ID, and ID is login button, and then is enabled for verifying this button is disabled or not, and then print the true or false value here. Element 2. Let's add some weight here. After enter the username and password, time dot slip 2 second wait, and then after checking the sign in button is disabled or not, we add some wait here, time dot slip 3 seconds. Let's run this scenario. In this scenario, first it will navigate to this URL and check the button sign in is disabled or not, and then enter the user and password, and then hit true, because after enter the username and password, this sign in button will be enabled. Let's run this script. Chrome browser is opening. Navigate to this URL. In first scenario, sign in button is disabled, so it will print false in console. In this second scenario, enter the username and password, this sign in button is enabled. So here you can view the first value is false and the second is true. That is for the tutorial on using is enabled in Selenium. I hope this tutorial helpful. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to SK1 for more automation tips. See you in the next one.